Hello everyone. I've been missing in action just because we've had a lot of birthday parties, a lot of kids over, and not any adults, it's just kids. So I've been busy, and of course it's hot outside, so we've been doing a lot of activities. So yeah, let's get on with it. So we're going to do book review. So far let's do this one. This is The Slob by Erin Bigard. And what can I say about this? So we don't want to ruin the ending. So first let's tell, this one has some cannibalism in there, some beating, so abuse and that, some rape, like extreme bad things happening to these people. They probably got lots of nightmares and PCD, or what is that? I forgot. Okay, anyways, got sidetracked. So let's get on with this story. The Slob. The Slob. Isn't that a cool picture? Anyways, The Slob. What could I say? It starts off, this girl, she's with this guy. He's in a wheelchair. He was from the war, army, blah, blah, blah. They got married, got pregnant. Now she's living off of her income and that. And she's like, hey, we need a little bit more money. And he's like, well, let's sell my car. I'm not driving it anyway. She's like, no, that would be the last thing I do because you love that car so much. So then a salesman came to her door and sold her a vacuum. And because of her past history and her childhood, the way that she grew up, how messy her home was, and she had to clean up her sister's brains and eye and everything up from in her room because her sister had shot herself when she was younger. And so she had to clean that up herself because they could not afford a cleaner to come and clean up the blood and the gore. So she was the one that had to do it. Her mom was one working. Her dad was basically depressed and that in his room drinking or whatever. Okay, so anyways, so that's how she got so good at cleaning. So when the salesman came to their house, sold them the vacuum, she was like, look how easy it was to sell me the vacuum. Like, I think I could do that. I'm really good at cleaning. I know my things about cleaning. I could do this. Let me try for a week. So she contacted the cleaner guy. They didn't allow women's sales to go door to door. And she's like, you let me go door to door and sell or else. So she's going to go and tell whatever, right? So, sorry, excuse me. So she gets to have the chance to go door to door. So she says, let me try for 1 week, honey. It's okay. If nothing works out, then that's fine. We'll do something else. And he's like, I don't want you to do this. And she's like, no, I will just do 1 week. He's like, you're almost like about to have this baby. Like, she's showing, she's very, very, very pregnant. Okay, so the husband does not want her to do this. He gives her a pepper spray even. She insists that she'll try for 1 week. 1 week goes by and she did really good. And so she's like, let me just do 1 more week and then I will put it up. I will stop it so then that way we can get ready and have this baby. So the last day that she is going to stop this selling vacuums door to door, it's like $20 for a vacuum, and then she gets a $20 on top of that. So it's like $40 each time she sells. So ding, 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 she's selling. Okay, she's doing really good. She's like, there's one more street down here. It's like a secluded, kind of like a country road that you're going and you only see like 1 or 2 houses. And she's like, she could look down and see the last couple of houses. And she's like, I have 2 hours left. Could I kill this 2 hours and get all the rest of this money? And then she'll be done and over with, and then she could concentrate on just her baby. So she's like, okay, let me do it. So she goes to the door. There's like this farm, and she hears chickens and a barn of animals. And so she goes to the door, rings it, and then the curtain on the side moves, and you could hear somebody walking. A big, heavy person must be, because you could hear them coming all the way to the house, okay? So, click, 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 like all the locks on the door. It sounds like lots of locks. So she's standing back, and it's like a huge guy. Like, say, I don't know, say like 400 pounds, like one of those bald guys, dripping, drooling, nasty, smelly, nasty looking, like he hasn't showered in months, he's greasy, he's got long hair, it's just grown out because he hasn't taken care of himself, like probably like a big beer belly, like kind of looks like an ogre, just really scary looking guy, just because of the way that his environment is and how his mental health is. So like picture like the nastiest, biggest, smelly person out there, okay? So she sees that, and she's kind of nose blind because of the way that she grew up. So she kind of isn't there to judge his home, but it's kind of like how she grew up, nasty inside, it stinks inside, but because she's nose blind, she's okay. She's like, hey, show me the dirtiest spot on your floor, and I will clean it with this vacuum. So he really doesn't talk. He just kind of like, kind of like an ogre, I guess. So he does that, but as soon as she gets in the house with the vacuum, he locks the doors, and she's like, huh, okay. Like, she doesn't notice or doesn't think anything of it, right? So she's just thinking about, let me make a few bucks and I am done. So she's being greedy, and she's pregnant, I think like 9 months or something. So very, very pregnant, greedy. And so he takes her upstairs into a bedroom, and she's like, well, don't you want me to clean like somewhere that's high traffic, like the stairs or somewhere like that? Like, why would I be in your bedroom cleaning? And then he shuts the door, and I think he pushed her or something, and so she fell, and she was like, got her hands in a bunch of gawk and that, and she was like, what is this? And it's a dead body down there. The floor is red, and she's like, oh my gosh. So she didn't want to get in trouble, so she started cleaning it. She cleaned the floor. All of a sudden, this is where it kind of starts as like he comes in, beats her, rapes her. He kind of puts somebody else's body part up in her hoo-ha, and she woke up. She must have passed out, blacked out, or got punched out. I forgot what it was, but she wakes up and she's like, I can feel something inside me that's not supposed to be there. And it was like a big piece of leg meat or like arm or something from somebody that he jammed up inside her. And she's like, what is happening? Like, get that out. So he come back after, and he was like looking at her, make sure that she cleaned the floor. And she was like, let me just be good. Let me just clean this floor, so then that way I don't get in trouble and I can just hurry up and go home. So he comes back in, and she's like, hey, listen, I cleaned the carpet. I didn't see nothing, because if I cleaned that scene, like, I could be in trouble too. So let me go. I won't say nothing. And so he just doesn't really talk. He just kind of beats her, and he punched her so many times, like in the nose, that her nose bone is showing. Her face is all smashed open. She's got like open fracture. Her teeth are like hit, and like, so her whole face kind of from here is just punched so many times. He just kept punching her in the nose because he knew like that would just make a big ugly mark, okay? So it's all open, it's all wounded, blood everywhere, like her face just looks like blood, okay? So, sorry, I don't know why my dogs are barking. Yeah. So anyways, so her face is all smashed open, and all of a sudden somebody else comes into the room, and it's another girl. She's wearing a bag on her head, and so she's like, sitting there, and so they're waiting for this guy to leave. And then finally, as soon as the guy leaves, the other girl is like, hey, could you take this bag off my face? She's like, she looks kind of in good shape, like, why is she here? And the girl is like, you know what, if he likes you, you stick around for a while. If not, he usually kills them off within like the day, or once he's done with them or bored with them. And she's like, well, how would you know? Like, you look like you're in good shape and that. She's like, oh, I've been here a while, like probably like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So the girl helps and opens up her black bag on her head, and her whole head is full of blood. She doesn't have no hair, like she's kind of like sculpted. Her teeth are showing, like no skin. Her lips are like, he took the lips off. Like, she doesn't have like, it's kind of like her face was skinned, okay? So it's a gory scene. She's like, oh no, and it's kind of scary, but then she got kind of like used to looking at the other girl's blood. And this is where she gets into it and starts telling the girl, like, hey, he's got these set of keys that he uses. He has a gun safe, and the other one is for like the door and I think a car. So everyone is always trying to find these keys and trying to get them, but then as soon as you do, he finds out and he kills them. And then the girl was like, well, what happened to you? And so the guy made her sit at the table. He scalped her, boiled her, like, top of the skin and I guess maybe just all the skin and the hair. He boiled it, and then he picks it out and he's like, slurps it down. And he loved like the hair going down. He thought it was like the taste of spaghetti just sliding down your throat. And I'm like, bleh. So he slurps it down. Long story short, they start talking how to escape and that, and they plan out how they're gonna escape. Before this happened, when the girl was just alone in there, he took like a bunch of stuff in there, and as he was molesting her, raping her, beating her, all the bad things that you could imagine, he did smash her stomach over and over and over until everything in her stomach was soft and mushy and gushy. Her ribs are broken. So she's not doing so good in there. Like, all that baby in that is completely done. No baby in there no more. So that's why they're now planning on how to escape. How would you escape if we had a chance? So the one girl that had a bag on her head is going poop, and she's like, I'm sorry, usually I'd be embarrassed or shy about this kind of thing, but in this environment, I've been here for so long, it's life and death here, and I have to do this. And she's like, I'm not being rude. And so she starts digging in it, and the other girl's like, what are you doing? And she's like, I swallowed the set of keys because he was coming. And so I swallowed the set of keys so he didn't find out, so he didn't hear no jingling, jangling. And so she's digging in the poop to find the set of keys. So anyway, after they find the set of keys, they hide under the mattress, make a plan to fake their death. So then that way when he comes in, he could grab one girl and take them out while the other one is in there. Hopefully she could get out, escape, steal the gun, shoot him, and get out happily ever after, right? So it goes on. They do escape. It does work out. Like, he takes one girl and he's in the bedroom with her. The other one escapes, gets the gun, and then she goes to go shoot him, but the other girl raises her head and she got her face blown off. And so he turned around and like the other girl jammed like a arm bone or something in his eye just to stop him. And that didn't work. Knocked her out, beat her up some more. She ended up waking up in a barn. And in this barn, there was no animals. All that farm animal sounds were on a recording. And the recording was going on and on and on replay. And everyone in this barn is dead. There's a pile of bodies. There's like these big vats of floating bodies in there, boiling, cooking away. I guess they have like a little side business making cans of girls, like beans, but as a girl in the can. So it's like a little side business, I guess. That's why they're killing all these girls. And Oh, I'm like, what is happening? So, anyway, she wakes up. She's trying to find a plan. She's in like a little cage or something with a bunch of dead bodies. Long story short, she's doing all this kinds of stuff. She's trying to gather up all the dead people's teeth. And then she finds somebody else's bone and she sharpens it on like a corner of the cage or something so it's sharp. She has to stick it up inside her, be gentle, and then so when he comes in to rape her, then he stuck it in there and it shredded it, and so he stops and he's like, and then that's at that point that she starts stabbing him. She hit him first with the broken teeth, and then she started stabbing him with like a human bone. Got the keys, kind of ran so fast to get out of there. She finally starts running out. There's meat grinders. Something happens. She ends up pushing this big guy into the meat grinder. Gets down there, turns it on, and he's so big he's still down in there, right? So she grinds him up. She escapes, and then like she gets home and she doesn't want to hear from this guy. Like she knows that he's in there, he's dead. All these body parts, all these score, beat ups, and everything. So she's having nothing but nightmares. She wakes up peeing herself. She wakes up with nightmares. She cries. She screams. She even wakes herself up throwing up. So this goes on and on and on. I guess that's not going to stop because that's now trauma for her. But a Chinese guy comes into town and their side business for the girls, nobody's making girl soup or cans or anything anymore because of course the guy is dead in the grinder. So the other guy that goes and kidnaps these girls comes to the farm and brings the one girl. He's got another one and he finds the guy dead in the meat grinder. So he starts trying to burn it to erase any of their setup that they have going on there so the police don't find out. The rich Chinese guy comes. I guess he's the one that's in charge of all this mastermind canning and stuff. And he's like, I come down here for girls, so I need to have some food. And if you don't provide me any of the girls to eat, then we're going to have to do something else. And he's like, there is none. Like, I burned it. We'll find some soon. Don't worry, we'll get this set up all back up and running in that so you could eat some soon. And he's like, no, I didn't travel all the way down here for eating girls soon. I want to eat them now. So he's like, then we're going to have some young boys. So the guards or whatever took some of the guys that were there, took them into the bathroom, shot them, they boiled them, ate some, and he's like, it wasn't the best, but it will do. So then you're going to have to read the rest of it to find out what actually happens at the end. But this one, very good. How it was written, it kept you interested, and I like how they describe things. Like he goes full details on how he described them. So like how he actually described the guy, what he looks like what she looks like, what the girl with the bag on her face looked like. So it's very good descriptions. Okay, so that makes it really good because when you're picturing it in your head, you're like, what does she look like? Wonder what she's doing. Wonder what she looks like now or how she's killing him. And so you're wondering, but with this, it gives you really good description. You don't have to worry about thinking of, I don't really get what he was doing or she was doing. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, this is really good written. It was a fast read, very fast. Look at that. It's like 128 pages. And then it's got some pictures here in the back. So there's some pictures. That's the author. And this is the Slob First Edition bonus art. So they have some bonus pictures. I think overall it wasn't too graphic. It was just like a scary movie. I don't know. I'd give it like a 4 out of 5. It was good. Now, we have The Playground, Erin Bigard. The Playground. Now, I'm not going to go into such detail because this is a bigger book. But, the book about a girl is, let's see, how do we word this? she is kind of like incest. So she's in love with her mom, blah, 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 blah. She can't have kids, and so if she can't have kids, no one can, right? So she builds a playground so kids could get kind of like hurt, killed, whatever, and that's the end of the kids, okay? So she gets these bad guys. They go to the park. They go and tell a couple of parents, hey, you pay to come to my playground. It's an extreme playground. We want to see and test if your kids will love it. It's going to be good. So they get like 2 or 3 families. They bring them to the park, and so the parents have to sign like a contract saying that nothing's going to happen if something happens to your kids. All these main contracts. So the parents go into one room, the kids go into another one. The parents are sitting in a chair, and big belts strapped across their neck. And so they're stuck like in movie theater chairs. They can't move, but they have screens in front of them that they get to watch the kids from the screens. And so the kids are in a different room. They start off with like a little kiddie park. They're all having fun it's been like a couple hours. They're having fun. Parents are like, this is a normal park. Like, why did we come here? And she's like, that's not the real park. The real park will be coming soon. So the kids go into this other playground area, and that's when it all starts. Like a dog attacked the kids. The kids have to put these dogs down or try to fight in that. Then they go down another, there's another slide that has razor blades all inside. So they all get skinned, like trying to get down. There's a merry-go-round that has like acid on each side. So when you fly off, that you get the acid. The 2 older boys that were in a fight to each other, thinking that they're going to lose or win, they actually end up fighting each other, holding each other, and they both fly off together. There is like monkey bars that you fall in like a glass pit with snakes or something. I might have some of them mixed up, but this is the main ones that were there. There's a big slide that have big saw blades. So every time like a kid goes down, boom, big saw blades, like a big saw, jigsaw, or not jigsaw, the big skill saws. So those big blades, big, huge ones. The one little girl couldn't do it, so she stands up at the top. She pees her pants, and then the little boy come back behind her and actually stabbed her, because he didn't want her to lose, or he didn't want to lose because of her. There was a lot of different playgrounds. There was like one that, a hopscotch that had meat grinder on each side. So if you missed, then you would fall into the meat grinder. So there's a guy that's working for this girl that cannot have kids, and you'll find out if he plays along with her or if he goes against her. It kind of seems like in the beginning, the adults are trying to get him to go away from her. And he's kind of thinking about it like, when am I going to get a cheers with her? Because she's cheersing with another guy, and he's the one that has to go and clean up the mess. So it's kind of like he's left out. He's sad. He doesn't get to enjoy any of the fun, just all the cleanup and all the getting the kids, locking them up, doing all this stuff, taking them out. It does have an extreme warning on there as well. I didn't see one on the slob, but yes, so you have to read this to find out what happens if the kids survive. One of the kids, she wants to survive, so then that way she could take them under her wing, and she wants to raise it kind of as her own. She wants the little girl. So you have to read it to follow up to see if there's one that's going to follow under her wing, or if the guy is going to go against her and let the rest of the kids out. It is a really good book. It is by the same author, so Erin Bogard wrote both of them. I say this one was not as extreme as everyone is saying. It just kind of felt like a regular scary movie. So it wasn't really like gory and that. It's just like a scary movie, like Saw. Put Saw in and maybe some other movie. I don't know. But this is like Saw. So they have to do different tests and that, or you're gonna die if you don't. So yes, this is like Playground, like the movie Saw. Okay, and it wasn't as any much gorier than what Saw would be. So the amount of blood and accidents and things that you see is the same as a scary movie. So to me, it didn't make like that much of a difference because I'm used to watching scary movies. So my opinion, it wasn't that gory, wasn't that extreme. The only bad scene, or that I think is the sickest in this book, that made me want to like throw up in my mouth, was only in the beginning when it was explaining how in love she was with her mom, and her mom left a poop in the toilet and she started nibbling and eating it and saving some to rub all over herself. That was like the only sickest scene in this book, I think. All the rest are like, hey, I cut him, like the kid went in the acid, and that you could deal with because that's a scary part, like a scary movie. But in the beginning, like, I was not expecting to eat and see and smell like you. So that to me was really sick, but you could get over that. It was only a little bit in the beginning. So the way he described things was very good. Like, she stunk. She did not like showering or bathing. It was crusty. It was leaking. It was dirty, musty. The smell, and like you could just picture what she actually looked like and what she smelled like right beside you, and you're like, oh no, lady, get away from me. So good descriptions. Once again, all of his books, it seems like he describes things really, really good. And he keeps you on your toes. You don't know who is the bad guy, what is going to actually happen. Is this going to come around good, or is it going to end up like a bad story that nobody survives? Or do you have one person that actually survives? So in all, I think it was good. 4 out of 5. Yes, you're going to have to read the end of it, though, because it was actually a good ending in there. So, and this one is what? It is 327 pages. Oh, and there is a couple of pictures, like, as you go through the different, what they went through, like, some of the slides and that. Let me see. I can't seem to find any pictures now. Like the hidden hurt, and then like a little hand. Here is the big slide that they had to go up. Having a ball. Oh, this was my favorite picture in here, the hangman guy. And then he did have the knife in his head, and in the head was like a different set of keys and that. And they didn't know that even until like it fell down, or they got it down so that they could use for clothes for the kid that was bleeding. And then the little girl went stabbing the head because she was mad, and after all, seeing her brother in that killed. And when she actually stabbed that head, it was full of fire ants. So then they started crawling up them, biting them like crazy. Here is one of the hopscotch ones that he hopscotched, fell into the meat grinder. So I enjoy looking at these pictures as you're going, because then you kind of don't get bored. You get to imagine what is going on. Here's the one that they fell into the acid, and it just ate them alive. So the little pictures here and there, it doesn't make it like a baby book. It just keeps you interested so you don't forget kind of little parts here and there that happen. And it keeps you going, like you can imagine what is happening. So very good. Go ahead, read them and come back and follow so we can read some more together.